What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. It is Friday, March 29th. We are about a week away from WrestleMania, 1 week from tomorrow, but 1 week from today, we got the SmackDown go home show, and then you got the WWE Hall of Fame. Just a big old weekend coming up next week, but we got predictions next week galore. It's going to be a good old time, but just want to say thank you for tuning in. I want to say thank you for being here. It has been one heck of a week. And we want to say thank you, thank you for being a part of Fightful and being a part of Fightful Overbooked. And as we start every show, Maggie, how you doing?
Doing okay. I'm Daylight savings is happening for us this Sunday. And while I'm so stoked about it because I don't want to go home after my day shift and it be dark outside. I don't want that. I'm looking forward to that ending, but I am going to be pretty bummed out that we get to do the show at a normal time because normally our show starts at 10 p.m. my time. And now because daylight savings already happened for you guys and not us, it's been happening at 9 p.m. my time. And I have an extra hour to eat before I go to bed. And that's gonna end, so no eating for me from next week. Yeah, so you win some, you lose some. That's
Live.
probably it. Yeah, that's probably it. So like while we start off the show and before I do my bid, with the thank yous and whatever, do you want to explain yourself to our fans about your yarn tweet? Because like people, okay, like idiots in the comments, I love you guys, by the way, I'm just being silly. Idiots in the comments decided to be cheap asses, and instead of sending us super chats with those puns, they decided to not spend money on it. I enjoyed the crap out of each and every comment under your tweet. I love you guys. Please, like, we're not gonna talk about the origin of the yarn stuff that's happening on Twitter. We're not gonna talk about that because it's weird. um please send us yarn comments.
The only thing I will say about that is hashtag Cassidy Haynes was right.
oh,
That's
really? Oh,
yes.
okay, we're gonna talk about it after the show
That's all
then.
I'll say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
That's all
we're,
I'll
we're,
say.
we're gonna talk.
Hashtag Cassidy Haynes was right.
I uh, I find myself thinking that Cassidy Haynes is often right.
He is, but this
Yeah,
time
he
I just
is
want to make
often right.
sure.
Yeah, okay. So, guys, hi. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time out of your wonderful Friday to spend it with us. Thank you so much. The easiest thing that you can do is hit the thumbs up. Please like the video. The second thing you can do, send us a super chat. It's the bottom of the live chat, the little dollar sign. Or also, you can send us a humper chat at humperchats.com. It makes us keep a little bit more of the money that you send. Any amount will get your question or statement or comment read on the air. Please subscribe to Fightful Overbooked. Subscribe to youtube.com/Fightful. Also subscribe to Fightful Select. A lot of news coming in WrestleMania week. Please support us. This is the most wonderful thing that you can do if you're a fan of everything that Fightful does. Um, so might as well talk about it,
Well,
Robert.
first, we'll talk about what? You were talking about Yarngate or what?
The wrestling,
Oh,
Robert.
okay. Well,
The
no. Well, first off, well, let's say shout out to Throwback. Um, Throwback, who's
Shout
been
out
in
to
the
Throwback. Yes.
hospital, uh, who's had some health concerns. Throwback, we love you, buddy. We know you're not feeling the best these days, but we want to say get well, feel better soon, and you know how much you mean to us. So please get better. Please start feeling better soon because you mean a ton to us. So please get better.
Please take care of yourself because I feel like people in the wrestling space, because I don't want to say IWC.
Yeah, I
People in
don't
the
either.
wrestling space, yeah, I don't want to say that. People in the wrestling space need you. You've done a lot for Rob and I, so please get better. We're thinking about you, sending our prayers and love to you and your family. Please get better. Keep us posted also.
And then before we forget, we had a super chat that we missed last week.
Yes,
That
we did.
which is very rare for that to happen. It was from Chuck J. He wanted to say, "My favorite Maggie and my favorite day. Great lenses, dear." That was in regards to your new
My
glasses that
new
you have.
glasses. Thank you, Chuck, sweetie. If you're watching, I'm like, we're sorry for missing your super chat. We rarely do that. I don't think we've ever missed someone's super chat on our show. I don't think we've ever done that. Um, so
I don't know
yes,
how I
thank
did
you,
it. So
thank you for yeah. And you check the super chats at the end of the show.
yeah.
That's fine. Thank you for supporting us, sweetie. Thank you.
We have another super chat before we get going. Ryan Sullivan says, "Really glad to be part of this tight night." I think he meant tight knit community, or maybe that is. I don't know. Hell, tight. I'm gonna tight night community and contribute to the thread of this chat. I don't think that's how you spell knit.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
that's what he said. He's autocorrect. There you go. I was like, I don't think that's how you spell it, buddy, but I think it's yeah.
Oh,
I think
Jesus.
it's oh well. Oh man. But Maggie, as the thumbnail on YouTube shows, what a heck of a Monday Night Raw we had this past week. What did you think of Monday Night Raw? And only business, we will definitely be talking about SmackDown here in a little bit, just so you know.
Yes. So, it was
And
such a wonder. Yeah, okay.
I almost did. Hey, am I doing predictions with you next week? Stay tuned. We'll figure this out. But I'm willing to bet yes.
I mean,
It's up to
like,
Maggie. It's up to Maggie. No, I'm kidding.
what?
No,
What the?
I know. Yeah, just we have to figure it out, like schedule wise. But yes, pencil yourself in. So,
Like, we're talking about the Fightful Select pre-show, right?
well, yeah, for the most part. But
Of
I'm
course, we're doing the pre-show. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So okay,
Yes. Yes.
let's talk
Yeah.
some Raw is War
Raw.
'cause that's what it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it felt like. Um, man, what a wonderful episode of Raw was this week. This I don't want to say that it was unexpected, but it kind of came out of nowhere, you know? Uh,
Yeah,
because I went home from work and you said that Raw was pretty good. That you were, feeling really good watching Raw. And then on Tuesday morning, I wake up and prepare to watch Raw. Like I'm preparing my coffee and everything. And then I see your DM and you say Raw was absolutely fantastic. It made my day. And I was like, okay, now I really have to watch this. And it felt like for the first time in a while, I didn't even look at the clock and what time it is, because uh Monday and Tuesday I work the night shift and I have to get a lot of stuff done before I go to work. And usually at some point when I'm watching the wrestling from the night before, I end up putting some segments on double speed just because I need to watch it. and
yeah,
and no, and that did not end up happening in any time of Raw. um I enjoyed each and every minute of the show. But before we do you want right out of the gate to talk about everything that happened with Cody and Roman and Rock,
yeah.
or do you want to? Okay, so before we talk about everything that happened between Cody wise on Raw, we need to talk about SmackDown first. This last week of SmackDown, we had the Roman and Cody face to face. You know that they agreed that they will come alone and everything. You know, Paul Heyman came out on last Monday, and said, Roman Reigns is the man of his word. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, okay. Um, so they came out, and Cody was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm alone." Like exactly like Roman, I'm also alone. And Roman Reigns said, "You're a fool. You're stupid to me." That was pretty. That was an awesome line. You're not fit for this job. Um, he brought up, of course, he brought up Seth Rollins stabbing him in the back during the Shield days. And Cody was like, "Funny that you should mention the Shield, because I happen to remember who beat the Shield for those tag team championships, and it was Cody Cody as Cody and Dustin Rhodes.
Mhm.
They as a tag team, a brother tag team, beat the Shield for those tag team championships." Um, he hinted about Bullet Club. He said, I'm wearing my Bullet cufflinks, and I know a thing or two about stables." And of course, he was talking about Bullet Club. Um, he said that Seth may hate Cody, but Seth hates Roman more. Uh, and he brought up, can Roman trust The Rock, which is something that has been thrown around a lot. Uh, so Roman Roman called Cody number two. He's a number two guy. And Cody said, "I'm not number two, I'm the one." And then, of course, Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso came out and surrounded the ring, and then went to Roman. And of course, we saw that Seth Rollins and Jey Uso were also in the crowd. So they had Cody's back. So that was a magnificent way to end SmackDown. It was kind of uneventful. If like the only two things that happened on SmackDown which absolutely made me cackle was the bit where Kevin Owens punched both members of Pretty Deadly backstage, because he did the same thing last time that they were in this building. So I want to see this as a bit now. Every time they're in that building, he has to punch two people at the same time, and he was like, "Hey, Randy!"
You know what also has happened in that building?
What?
Big Show. It was Big Show, The New Day, and Kevin Owens. And Big Show moved Kevin Owens out of the room and just let one loose and locked the New Day into the small little office and nearly
Oh
killed
yeah,
them all.
sure. Toilet humor. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so great.
Yep. I just thought I'd remind you of that.
Also, the other thing that happened was LA Knight invading AJ Styles' house, and then his wife comes out, and I'm like, "Oh, Wendy!" I cannot be the only one who thought of that.
I thought of the uh, the original, or the boss too, the final boss as well. I don't know if you saw that stuff going on today, but that was
I
fun.
did see it. I did see
Yeah.
it. So, um, it's wrestling, okay? Wrestling can never be original anymore, because, like, okay, like months ago, uh AEW called Samoa Joe the final boss. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. Meiko Satomura's been the final boss for more than 2 years now. It's wrestling. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Like, it is so fine. I mean, like, I me personally, I don't think that I'll remember The Rock as the final boss when this thing is over. I don't think I will. But I will always remember Meiko Satomura being the final boss. And I will
Yeah.
never remember Samoa Joe being called the final boss.
Yeah. Well, I
Just
forgot that
just
even Miro
FYI.
had it. I forgot Miro even had it.
Did he have it?
Yeah, Miro had a shirt that said "The Final Boss" too, like a couple
Yeah.
months ago,
There you
or
go. There you go.
maybe sorry, a couple years ago. But yeah,
I don't even
it just.
remember. I don't remember. Yeah.
But
So yeah.
no, I was just gonna say that that opening segment, like for Raw,
Yeah,
just
and then we come into Raw. So Raw starts and Cody opens up the show and he's like he said this city knows when I make a bet I keep it, and he was referring to Chicago being the home of the first ever All In show. Um he says that he's pretending to be the champion because the real champion isn't there. Um, and then he said, I can't do this alone. And then he too sweeted and banged the WrestleMania sign. That's always, you know what I mean. That's
no, I
always
know. I just
great to see. And then The Rock came out. He did his thing for 15 minutes that he does. And then he didn't say anything. He whispered something to Cody and then he leaves. And I'm like, well, that sucks.
you know what he whispered, right?
Uh, I did it for The Rock.
No, Stardust. That's all he did.
Yeah, I know. I heard you.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that's all he did.
Yeah. So the internet said that he whispered tonight I'm making you bleed, which is so badass. By the way, that was so great. And then the last match on Raw was Jey Uso versus Nakamura. The stupid thing is that no one remembers that Nakamura was a part of the segment. I had to dig through, and I was like, what was the last match? So yeah, it was Jey Uso versus Nakamura. The match ended, um, and it ended with a brawl between Cody, Seth, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy, and Jay, and they were fighting around the ring, and then they went backstage, and all of a sudden, a Wild Rock appears. He fucking killed Cody for 7 minutes straight. And then, after the cameraman yelled cut, The Rock just did not have it. Oh, so fucking WWE cameraman, he yells cut, and you think it's over? Fuck that. Fuck your script. It's not fucking over. And then
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
continued murdering Cody with the belt and everything. Like he brought up the belt,
Yeah.
you know, the Mama Rose belt.
Yep.
And because Cody was so much fucking bleeding that he got Cody's blood on the belt and everything that he promised that he will do. And he continued beating Cody Rhodes with that belt, and I'm there sitting like, that is so good. That cinema.
Cinema.
Yes. And you know, at first when The Rock was a heel, he came back as a heel. It was kind of weird to me because I'm a fan of that old school Rock that everyone cheered for, and you know that version of The
Oh yeah.
Rock. And
Yeah.
it was
I
really
think we
weird
all
to me.
really were.
Yeah, but like I wasn't watching when Hollywood Rock was there and he was like a heel and everything. He was a jackass. This is a whole new different version of when did you do the bumper?
I just that one I made a while ago. I just noticed it and I never took it off. So I just thought, hey, let's see if Doc's still watching.
You should have that on next week's show
Yeah, I will.
because of, you know, the whole WrestleMania week and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, the bumper it says for Bleacher Report tech support, please tweet BR Doctor. We love you, Doc, so much. Please cook for me. Uh,
I
so
also have I also have this one. I'm going to wipe my nose. We know how people react to that after one of our shows, so I will be right back. Too
bring back
soon.
the super chat and the humper chat one. It's the
Yeah, that's
most
probably better.
important one. Yes,
Yeah.
guys, please you send the super chat and humper chats to support the show. So, yeah. mm, uh, as I was saying, I wasn't watching at the time when Hollywood Rock was a thing, and I because I've watched segments and I've watched stuff with that time when The Rock was a heel, because Goldberg was a face. Boo! Like no, no, and now I have to watch firsthand The Rock being a heel, and I thought that I was gonna let's just say that those are hearts.
How'd
They're
they do
hearts,
that?
right? Because
I don't know.
you're an Apple user. Do the thumbs up. Do the thumbs up. Continue leaving the thumbs up. It does it with Jeremy. You know the fireworks behind him.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, it
But if I
has
do
a
this,
bunch of
oh,
yeah. Oh, that's Robert. You've never done this
no.
before.
What if I
What?
start doing that? Never mind.
Stop it.
Too soon. It's a different
It's
show.
not. We're
Oh,
20
that's
minutes
oh,
in.
yeah. Never mind.
We love you, Kate. Also, please text me when you get your plane ticket for All In. Yeah, so where was I? You keep interrupting me. Jesus. You're such a man. You're interrupting me.
There we go. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, every once in a while, Supi needs to expose you as a goofball, not only me. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, The
I don't know,
Rock.
but
Okay.
okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. The Rock. No, I was just going to
Yeah.
tell you what my theory is when you're done.
Yeah. So I thought that I was gonna have trouble with that version of The Rock, but this has been so fine. I'm here for this. Like I kind of feel like they saw that people were, the direction that they took, that it was going to be The Rock, but then it wasn't because, they saw the negative response on the internet because people were so behind Cody. And then they pivoted to something else and it was kind of getting a bit messy. Um I feel like everything that they did now, this was so good. I'm so here for this. It did feel like an old school Raw. I just loved it. It was such a cool way to pivot from everything that they did months ago that made no sense. And right now, because like people are still talking about The Rock being a double agent after this episode of Raw, I don't think that he's double agent, but I do think that he will turn on Roman on WrestleMania night too. I do think that. And I just can't wait because like there's so many different ways that they can do stuff for this WrestleMania alone. And I love this because people are speculating, people are fantasy booking because they're hyped for this. And this is good. I love it. The only thing that's bad out of all of this is that I'm gonna need a lot of justice for Bailey. This is the only bad thing that she won the Rumble and she's been kind of a She took a backseat to all of this,
Yeah.
and the only thing that we can do right now is pray for Paramore. Okay, like I'm gonna need for them to just play on the stage while she makes her entrance. I'm just give her that. Like Bailey deserved this. Like not only did she win the Rumble, but like I feel like it's not about her at all leading up to WrestleMania. So justice for Bailey, give her Paramore. What do you think of everything that happened on SmackDown and on Raw? It was
All
a
right.
lot.
So on Monday, like my week's been crazy. So
I know.
Monday, my my dad like had COVID. I found out my dad had COVID. Then also my mom had pneumonia. So I was running errands for them like all day. So I'm at the grocery store right when Raw's starting. So I'm literally watching Raw on my phone while I'm checking out. Like, and then I'm listening. And luckily, I live about 2 minutes from my grocery store. So I drive back home, and basically all I do is miss the entrance of Cody Rhodes. So I'm ready to go. I'm pumped. It's all good. And I'm sitting there and just enamored with what's going on. I'm like, this crowd's just badass. And I'm like, we still have CM Punk to go
Yeah.
later. And then all of a sudden, the music goes. The Rock is there. And holy crap, nothing is better than when you get an unannounced Rock visit. That Chicago crowd went nuts. I'm not saying obviously they were on the same level as like CM Punk November level Survivor Series, but it was close. Like from a loud factor, it sounded like that to me. It was just awesome. And the fact that he didn't have to say a word made it even better, in my opinion. Do I want to know what he whispered? Absolutely. But that's up for us to determine. I think he said like Snitch was really good. People didn't like it. Or like he was just talking about one of the movies that nobody watched. Maybe he brought up Walking Tall. Who knows? I don't know. But
Maybe he
that's
says
just
that
me.
he's jerking off to Black Adam.
Yeah, we've had a lot of references to that today. So, anyways, but my thing out of everything, like afterwards, and I know I'm not the only person that thought this. There were a lot of other people that came up with this idea. What if this was a signal? You see that
I know,
background?
right? I know, right?
Oh my god! Because I was thinking, let's go to the hypothetical situation here, Maggie. Let's say we're in WrestleMania night 2. I was thinking this because the great thing about wrestling is we get to daydream when it comes to booking, right?
Sure.
So I was kind of picturing how would this work? So and I figured it out. Okay, so it's bloodline rules match because I think it's obvious.
Obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
the tag team match is going to go with The Rock and Roman are winning. So you have the bloodlines match rules, which is going to be pure chaos. And Sean's mentioned it before. He wants the overbooking. No, overbooked. Coincidence. Anyways, this is what you do. If that plays a factor, which I absolutely hope it does, because this is how it could work out. This is me dreaming here, not nobody else. This is how it could work out. You have Jimmy and Jay. Jay Uso comes out, and he tries to help. You got Jimmy taking him out. Solo Sikoa helps. Well, Seth Rollins comes out. Well, Drew's still pissed off at Seth Rollins because Drew got screwed over because I think Damian Priest is cashing in. And Drew McIntyre is going to be so pissed off because Seth cost him still. Because I think that's what's going to happen. I think Damian Priest is going to win the title, but I think Seth Rollins is going to help Damian win somehow. That's just what I think is going to happen. So Drew's still going to be pissed. This is just me. Just let me go here. So Drew comes out.
Okay, like just so I can understand you. You think that Drew pins Seth, and then Damian Priest comes out and Seth helps win. That's
Yeah,
what.
I could see like Seth like hitting Drew with like a curb stomp before when the ref's not paying attention or something stupid like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but like you mean that Drew wins the title, and yeah, like not like the WrestleMania main event like from 9 years ago when Seth made it a triple threat. You don't mean that,
No, I think it'll happen afterward
Okay,
because
so continue.
I think they're going to build a story. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm on something. Maybe I'm onto something. I don't know.
Okay, then.
Anyways, so you have Jay and Seth fighting against Solo and Jimmy. Now you have The Rock getting involved. Then all of a sudden you're like, well, The Rock's involved, so now it's 3-on-2. Well, John Cena has something in common with both The Rock and Solo Sikoa. The last person John Cena lost to wrestled with Solo Sikoa, so he has a past with him. We already know his past with The Rock, so John Cena comes out. Now it's like just even, and then all of a sudden, the glass shatters. Could you imagine how freaking nuts that place would go? I am overbooking this like crazy because I don't see any of this happening. But from a made up standpoint, let a guy dream. That's all I'm saying.
You know how I agree with you on one condition. Do you remember? I don't know which pay-per-view that was, but it was The Rock versus.
That was not water.
You okay?
That was bad lemonade. That was lemonade from like a week ago.
Why do you still have it?
I didn't know I didn't throw it away.
You okay? Yeah, okay. So, like I said, yeah, is your microphone okay? Yeah. So, like I was saying, I don't remember which pay-per-view that was, but it was The Rock versus Triple H. And Triple H had all his cronies out there, and they were attacking The Rock and everything. And it looked as if The Rock was wondering if he can count on Stone Cold Steve Austin for the help. And then when it looked as if Triple H was gonna retain his championship, and then the glass shattered, and then Stone Cold came out, beat the crap out of absolutely every fucking one around the ring, and then he left, and The Rock won the championship. I adore that match. Again, I so don't remember the name of the pay per view. I kind of want to say Armageddon, but I don't think that it was that. Um, this is what I kind of want to happen. Like everyone fighting and Cody Rhodes. Everyone thinks that Cody's about to lose again, and then the glass shattered, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out, beats the crap out of everyone, and just leaves. I don't want. I want this. If Stone Cold Steve Austin's gonna be there, just swear and curse. Thank you, sweet. Yes, it was Backlash. Thank you, Maria. Um, what the hell happened at Armageddon? So
I don't know.
whatever. Um, was that yeah, I think it was the same Backlash. Okay, I'm having like 50,000 thoughts in my head at the same time. That's never fun. Yeah, that was a pretty awesome pay-per-view, by the way, if I can remember correctly. Was it Backlash 2000 or 2001? No, it was
I don't
2000.
know.
I really don't remember. Uh so this is the way I hope it happens if Stone Cold is there. Uh but it kind of makes sense for Austin to be there because like
Well, yeah.
but if he is there, people are never gonna shut up about Rock and Roman again.
Yeah.
Backlash 2000. Thank you. Yes. Wow, I was
Well,
right about something.
we have two more super chats. We have Sports Center. Nah, 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 nah.
Nah, nah, nah.
He just sends a laughing emoji. Thank you. I wonder what that was in reference to. And then Throwback, who we talked about earlier, sends us a super chat. Says, "I am the final boss." It's such
Yes, you
a
are.
video games cliche. I'm down for it, but there will be a shenanigans afoot because of CM Punk. Love you guys. Thank you for the support while I was in the hospital. Do you have a good deed to pay for, or a good deed pay forward? I think that's what he meant. I'll figure it out. I probably do have one, but not right now. I don't.
Yeah.
So going back to just, I agree with what Sean has said for the past couple of months. Just overbook it, please. Just do it. Like, give the people what they want, because we know we want Cody to win. I think it's obvious. Other than Demon Diva, I mean, and that's me cutting heel turn, I guess, on Demon Diva. I'm a big fan of her. I'm a big fan of Roman, her dog, and I don't get me wrong, I like Roman Reigns a lot, but it's just I
Yeah, I
want to
love
see Cody
cookies.
do it. Yeah, thank
Uh,
you, Jerry.
it's
Thank you, Jerry.
thank you. That's the thing, because like for months and months and months now, we were here on our show, and a lot of people said on their show that Cody needs to beat Roman clean as a whistle. But now, because of everything that happened, the last 2 months or so, it's really clear that it's gonna be bloodline rules. it's
Yeah,
it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. um and that's not a spoiler, by the way. And it's not a prediction either. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. Like, you can't possibly mention bloodline rules and not give us, a not not give us this match, because like, what is even that? Like, I have no
yeah,
idea what that is. um and it's just so good. uh because first of all, like, we wanted a, a simple match between Cody and Roman, in which Cody can be um decisive a decisive winner over Roman. And now we want the overbooked bullshit and everything. That's not, it's just like, I know I'm gonna be entertained. That's it. I ask, I plead, I with my boss, I ask him to give me Sunday off, because like, I don't want to skip through WrestleMania night 1 just because I have to go to work. Ew, work. I want to watch WrestleMania.
yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I'm so here for this. This is so good. I'm so happy.
Well,
Wrestling
let's
is good.
yeah. Well, let's move on to Raw some more. The match that started off was a banger. You had Ricochet versus JD McDonough. Man, this match was just unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Ricochet killed it. JD McDonough did a good job too. Don't get me wrong. That's the thing too that people seem to forget in this match. He did a really good job as well. Ricochet just was great. He made moves that a lot of people haven't seen or haven't seen in a long time. It was a fun match, and Chicago, being the good Chicago crowd that they are, ate it all up, and that was just a fun match. Overall, I enjoyed the hell out of that match, just like everybody else did, I think. Maggie, what did you think of this?
It was a pretty fun match. It was, I feel like, me included, by the way, I feel like we all keep forgetting how good Jordan Devlin is, aka JD McDonough. Bleh, McDonough. It's We keep forgetting, like, a lot. I'm not sure if the Judgment Day has helped JD McDonough be in putting over terms. I feel like he's losing a lot every time the Judgment Day has to lose in something. He's the one getting pinned. So I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna see how things uh evolve Judgment Day wise, because I'm pretty sure that they're losing those tag team championships.
Hmm.
Um and I'm not quite sure that Damian Priest cashes in successfully or not, but I'm kind of sure that Rhea Ripley is gonna be the only one in the Judgment Day with a title after WrestleMania.
Going back to our talk about earlier, that's a good point you brought up about Drew. Maybe that's part of the conversation, that maybe if Drew still wins the match and doesn't get cashed in, maybe he's already had that conversation where he has to take care of Seth even more. Maybe that plays a part into it. Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that could be. But I agree with you. Moving on, like for Judgment Day, I think they do
Hmm.
lose the titles. But we'll get into the predictions part of that next week.
Yeah.
So after that, we had Phil come out. Phil made a
Oh my
mention of.
god, that segment.
What did you think at
That
first off? Before we go too far, what did you think when he brought up Miss April?
Oh, well, of course I popped for that, and I'm pretty disappointed that none of the people in the crowd started chanting for AJ. Uh
Yeah,
People
point to
point
this.
at the WrestleMania sign, I'm gonna point at AJ Lee.
Yeah,
Okay? That's me pointing at AJ Lee. Just give me AJ Lee, okay? Just give me. I'm not I because I didn't catch that at all. Um about the cornet thing. I did not catch that whatsoever at all. I had to go on the internet after I watched Raw to see what that meant, because I didn't even care. I saw a lot of people were complaining that CM Punk was watching a Cornet podcast, and I'm like, when did he say that? And then yeah, um, I don't know what to say about that. It was yes, Cassidy Haynes was right.
I'll go back to the other one here in a second. I just
Yeah.
want to change it up.
So CM Punk comes out. He was like, I'm not cleared, but my mouth is working. And I'm like, yeah, that's gonna go well. Um, he said that a lot of people were talking about him. He mentioned Roman Reigns, and what he said was, we're gonna meet on your way down. And I'm like, oh, that is such a good line. That is such a good line. He said that Seth making fun of his injury with his two bum knees was pretty funny. Um, he said that The Rock doesn't talk about him because his hands were still too short to box with God, and I'm like, come on, that was a long time ago, and it was a funny bit then, and it's a even more funny bit now, because come on, sweetie,
Like, come on,
that's
come on.
come on, come on, come on, come on, Phil. Let's not go there. And then he mentions Drew, and all of a sudden, Drew. It's as if it's wrestling. Rob, Drew comes out, sits on the commentary table right on top, like exactly like CM Punk sits in the middle of the ring, and then he turns to the cameraman and says, "Don't shoot up my kilt, you perv."
Yeah, he did do that.
That was good. I love Drew. He's so good. The biggest troll ever.
So
He
good.
asked CM Punk to be on commentary for his match. Um, and then Seth Rollins comes out because again, it's wrestling. Um, Seth asked the audience if they wanted CM Punk to be the referee for the match, and then I don't think I've ever heard a referee chant before from a wrestling crowd. I don't think there was ever that. So
Yeah.
Seth Rollins turns to CM Punk and he says, "Do you want to know what I think?" And Punk goes, "No." No,
I did
you
laugh at
know,
that.
no, such a
That whole
troll.
segment was just that whole segment,
Zero
man.
script, zero script. I mean that like, um,
They got their
and
bullet points. That's pretty much what it was.
absolutely, yeah. So Seth Rollins said, "I don't think about you. You need me to have a WrestleMania moment, and this is the closest thing you're ever gonna get to a championship match. Stay out of my way." And that's everything that he said. And CM Punk was like, "All right, bet I'm gonna I'm gonna make you too interesting." And then he left. And throughout this entire segment, Drew McIntyre was sitting on the commentary table having the time of his life, man. Time of his life. Oh my god. So I I because like while talking about CM Punk at AEW, I might have come across as a person who really dislikes Punk, but CM Punk was always one of my favorite wrestlers, and I missed the crap out of him ever since like he left WWE for like, and he was out of wrestling for 7 years. I dropped my pen. Yes.
So yeah, oh, go ahead.
So this is what I'm here for. Uh, I'm loving everything that's happening right now in this storyline. Also, I I love it because I can see how Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre are such professionals that they just want to make money, you know? And this wasn't the thing over at AEW. I don't think that both sides wanted to have anything to do with the other. And the thing is here that the only thing I'm seeing is immense professionalism from both Drew and Seth. I think it's I think it's clear that Seth isn't a CM Punk fan whatsoever, like at
Yeah.
all. Yeah, but like
Well, yeah. I mean,
he's willing to work with the guy because
money,
yeah,
and
like
it's
money
and
to Monet talks.
he's a company guy too. And that's he's. I mean, they didn't do right from what Becky Lynch said. They didn't really do him right, but she did confirm a Fightful Select report that they did not tell Seth.
They didn't tell anyone, yeah. And
They told Randy
like
Orton said he knew, but
yeah, Randy Orton knew, and like probably that was the reason why Drew walked out like that. Because like he didn't know. Oh, you didn't know?
and I know he had a. He said he Drew said that probably. Well, Drew said he had a busted eardrum, so he was pissed off about that. But that probably didn't help matters.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Uh, but
What did you
that
think about him bringing up, kind of hinting at bringing up Vince? That was kind of like, whoa.
oh yeah, because okay, that was the thing that I missed. Drew McIntyre, he said, "I'm the chosen one," and then Punk cut him off, and he said, "Who chose you? Say his name. Who chose you?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, what is happening?"
I would have loved it if you would have turned around Michael Cole or something like that. you know, yeah, Michael Cole or just
I mean, I'm so magnificently entertained. Like they were never gonna mention his name because
yeah.
I
Oh,
like we can see that they're doing everything in their power to just make wrestling fans forget about everything that was going on with Vince because I kind of feel like we were all hurt because of that because um when you think about wrestling you think about Vince McMahon, uh which I hope at some point we stop
well, I
because
mean, as
you
far as like innovator, yeah. I mean, I'll
yeah
give you that.
that's why and I kind of feel like wrestling fans had a bad taste in their mouth for a long time because of that. And this is the first ever WrestleMania that we're ever gonna get with zero participation from Vince. And I hope that the Raw after WrestleMania is something, like a masterpiece, because they owe us for last year.
Yeah.
They really owe us for last year. I mean, I I kind of feel like I I needed my money back for watching Raw last year. The Raw after WrestleMania last year. Um, yeah. What did you think of that entire segment?
I thought it was great. I love it when the fourth wall is being at least approached. That's pretty much what I came to appreciate. That's what I enjoyed the most out of everything. It was
Sure.
so it was so it gave you that like edge of your seat feeling, like you're like, who's gonna say what next?
Absolutely.
That was the thing that just caught my attention. I wanted to know what CM Punk was gonna say because you never know what CM Punk's gonna say. And
CM
then Drew
Punk in
McIntyre's
Chicago.
and then CM Punk, or excuse me, Drew McIntyre's been on fire. We know that. And Seth Rollins, he always, for the most part, speaks from the heart. He doesn't mind bringing up the past.
Oh yeah.
So it was good. I just enjoyed it. We do have a super chat that I'll read. Jamal says,
But I'll read.
because I don't want to forget him. Jamal says Punk could play a part in Priest cashing in. That's a good point too. I do like that. If Drew wins, that could be interesting.
I mean, he could, but I wish he didn't.
Yeah, no, I know. I get it. So that whole segment was just money. That first hour and a half, just the whole damn show was just good as it can be.
Absolutely a wonderful, wonderful hour and a half. And then all of a sudden, we get Rhea and Becky. Yeah, so Rhea Ripley says that Becky will have to stay home after WrestleMania and watch her daughter call Rhea Ripley mommy. And then, and this is how you know that this is, and that you fucked up when you bring up Becky's daughter. So Becky says that Rhea is taking being a champion and being a mother as a joke, but it's no joke to her. And that after WrestleMania, they're both gonna be totally different. They brawl after that, but not before Becky killed Dominic. She dislocated his
Oh,
jaw.
that punch! Holy hell!
I mean, that looked incredibly real, Robert. And I wouldn't be remotely surprised if Dominic Mysterio, before that segment, was like, he went to Becky and said, "Just punch me for real. I can take it. Just punch me for real." Because it
Yeah,
looked so absolutely freaking real. I'm so like, as if I needed to love Becky Lynch even more. You know, I didn't need that, but
yeah,
there you go. There you go.
yeah. It's that punch. It was just I when they slowed it down,
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
slowed it down and showed it in slow motion,
Pat
I
McAfee
was
was
just
doing the bit with the. Oh,
he slowed it down, and I was just like, damn! And it was just so spectacular, just the way it just landed,
stupendous,
and
stupendous.
I it was just everything. It was so damn good, and I loved it. It was so entertaining. It was just absolute fire, and
Absolutely
you could
hilarious.
just look at that, just boom, like I mean, she gave him a mullet for a minute. I mean, he already had a mullet, but I mean that mullet went like it was it. Ah, damn, she got him good. Look at that punch, man. That's a hell of a right.
Hang that in the louver.
Yeah, the yeah, man, that was classy.
Incredible, incredible. I love you, Becky. I want your book. Please give me.
So, and then we already talked about the whole aftermath, like after the Jimmy and or
Mm-hmm,
excuse me,
mm-hmm.
after the Jay and Shinsuke match.
Absolutely,
So,
yes.
like usually we haven't been previewing SmackDown, but with it being a big SmackDown tonight, I figured we would go ahead and do that this week. So tonight on SmackDown, you have, since she signed with SmackDown, we have Jade Cargill, who's going to make
She's
an
so
appearance.
beautiful.
She also has an interview that we just dropped on Fightful today with Sean Ross Sapp. Sean got to talk to her in Las Vegas. So we dropped that today. So make sure you check that out. You also have Pretty Deadly taking on the team of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I'm sure
Hey,
Logan Paul will
Randy.
get. I'm sure Logan Paul will get involved in this one. You
I'm
have a
pretty sure,
tag
yeah.
team qualifying match between uh, LW, or excuse me, not LW, Legado del Fantasmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's Tyler Bate and Peter Dunne. So this is going to
Peter,
be good.
Peter, down, Peter, down,
Looking
Peter,
forward to it.
Peter, down.
Then you have Grayson Waller and Austin Theory taking on the Street Profits.
Correct.
Who do you
Is
think
this
wins that?
also a tag team qualifying match?
Yep, that it is. It's going to be, so
I'm looking forward to that ladder match, by the way. Chaos.
man, that's the thing. Like, I think Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate win their match. The one between Grayson Theory and Street Profits, I kind of want all those guys in that match. You know what I mean? So it kind of just.
Yeah, but like I I will always be rooting for the Street Profits
I know.
because yeah.
I want. I want Montez Ford in a ladder match. If that's what I want more than anything. So
Because do you
that's
know what that man can do?
yes, he can fly.
Yes. Yes. Yes, he can. I mean,
Let's
imagine a frog splash from the heavens.
yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. But let's go ahead and do our Cooper effect. How does that sound?
Yes, please.
Ready? Let's do this.
I'm gonna do that every week after you
Hmm.
play that video, guys. So hi. A couple of weeks ago we talked about Jon Stewart saying goodbye to his dog. So this week we're gonna tell you about the return of American political comedian and commentator Jon Stewart to The Daily Show, and how he enriched many lives across the country, but even more for a special New York City animal shelter. Because, as I mentioned on an episode of his show, he stole a bit of airtime to eulogize the best dog, his three-legged Dipper, after he died at the young age of 12. Um, he called out the no-kill Manhattan-based animal heaven shelter. He called him by name. Um, and of course, donations began to flood after the show aired. There's over $60,000 in donations from people who watched the show. Um, because Jon Stewart implored the audience to adopt, not specifically from that shelter, but he said, donate, adopt, volunteer, always adopt, don't shop. So thank you so much to all these wonderful people who are donating to animal shelters, because I always kind of feel gross when people buy pets. It's kind of gross because like there's so many cats and dogs and other homeless animals that just need your help. And a
Yeah,
lot of those dogs and cats are living on the streets because a person bought those pets, and because they later understood that they can't do the job, they just leave them and abandon them on the street, which makes me cry. Because like you buy a living creature and then you decide you don't want to take care of it and you just leave it on the street, like that's just gross. So like always adopt, and please, if you can take care of an animal, please give it to a shelter or someone who can. Just don't leave it on the street. That's what psychopaths do, that's a psycho thing.
this is gonna. I mean, this is gonna sound bad, and I mean, this just shows what you're talking about. About a week ago, my father told me that somebody near my parents' house drove through one of the alleys and dropped a bag off right outside of like this apartment building. They live pretty close to an apartment building. Dropped a bag off, and my dad's neighbor said, "There's somebody dropped a bag off. It's really weird." And she didn't want to go check it out, and so my dad did. The bag's moving.
Oh
Two, two,
sure, like
two, two kitties.
two
Like,
kitties.
yeah, nothing wrong with them. Just two young kittens. He just didn't understand. He's like, just what the hell? And he just drove it less than a mile to the animal shelter and
Yeah,
dropped them off there.
yeah.
A no-kill animal shelter. What the hell are we doing in society? Like Jesus. Anyways, yeah, man, I just, we talk about it all the time on the show, how much we love and adore animals, and it's
Yeah.
just when people do good things and animals, it's just something we're going to try to talk about. But something that just came up, Drew McIntyre tweeted. He retweeted Seth Rollins. He goes, Seth Rollins says, "At this point, attempting to use my wife's greatness to insult me has to be the most embarrassingly ineffective, overplayed, no balls having a shtick there is. Try harder, dweeb." Drew quote tweeted, "You're right. I should punch up to your level and aim for the cutting edge insults like Stinky Seth." I love it.
I mean, Diarrhea Dwayne was awful.
It was.
So Stinky
I'll give
Seth.
him that. Stinky Seth. Holy hell. So before we talk a little AEW, going to bring up one other story. Paul Heyman said in an interview that Roman Reigns considered himself retired after stepping away during COVID. That was pretty interesting. We have an article up on Fightful. It was SummerSlam 2020 when WWE had moved into the Thunderdome, Heyman said, and Reigns considered himself retired. He wasn't coming back. Heyman was an executive director, and Roman was assigned to SmackDown. But every week, I heard all the SmackDown writers and producers and personnel saying, "God, I just wish Roman would come back." And I would ask, "Has anybody talked to him?" "Yeah, he says he's retired. He's not coming back." "No way." And thanks a lot. Done. Finished. Goodbye. So the fact that he came back for this run, for what for what we have accomplished, is nothing short of a miracle. Because as far as he was concerned, he was out.
Yeah.
Could you imagine no Roman Reigns like for this? Holy hell!
I mean, if there's one thing that we've learned, that wrestling will move on no matter who the fuck you are. I mean, you can be beloved at the level of CM Punk was absolutely fucking beloved back in 2014. He left for 7 years. Wrestling kept thriving, and it was a thing without him. Um, that absolutely broke my heart, by the way, because I loved him and I missed him and I wanted him back.
Mhm.
And at some point, I was like, well, maybe he doesn't want to come back to wrestling, and that's fine. Like, wrestling will always be a thing. He's back, and wrestling is awesome, by the way. With him in it, we can see that Punk doesn't need wrestling, and wrestling doesn't need Punk. But when they both have each other, they're just like this symbiotic thing when the circumstances are right. Obviously the circumstances weren't right over at AEW. So that's so great. I Of course, I'm never gonna take for granted um the time that Roman gave to wrestling, even though he was at a huge risk at the time. um he was just taking care of his own health, and I appreciate the crap out of him. Like, a lot of people don't realize just how, because of everything that Roman Reigns has done up to this point, this is why this is so big. Like, I know that, oh, part-timer, oh, part-timer, oh, come on. Like, he says two sentences on the microphone and it's money. I will never forget the promo that he cut on the ramp. Like, he wasn't even, holding a microphone. He was, going backstage from the ring, and he cut a promo into the camera. Like, tell me who does that.
Yeah. Well,
That's so good.
yep, exactly. Moving on to our next story, Matt Hardy confirmed that his contract is coming up and that he has been weighing. He is weighing his options. He said that he does have a contract in front of him, and that the two sides are in talk with him and AEW. That he is weighing his options. He goes that he says, I have a contract sitting in front of me for a few years and I'm looking through it. I am deciding what I want to do going forward. There's obviously still some options. I've got to make sure that I'm aware of the ins and outs of the contract. And I want to make sure everything is up to par as far as what I want it to be. Because once again, I know that I only have a couple of more years left of doing this. And I want to make sure, and I want to make the most out of those years, whatever it may be. I want to be optimized in whatever I am doing. So that's very important to me. So I'm very happy to be invited to return to AEW and work for AEW for the foreseeable future, but we shall see because right now I'm weighing the options. There's a couple of things out there. I would say in the next month I should probably know what my immediate future is going to hold. He then reiterated um, the talk about the Hardys. He goes, legacy is very important to me. Knowing there's only a couple of years left doing this schedule is very important to me because I want to spend as much time as I can with my family. That is very important. Once again, if I'm working with Jeff, it is very important to me that the Hardys are optimized. It's very important that the Hardys go out on a strong note. That's what's important to me. Now, Maggie, I ask you this. The Hardys, in my opinion, haven't really been optimized at all, but part of that is unfortunately Jeff's fault. As far as like Matt goes, I I think
Well,
he's done
Matt is going
everything
to
probably
support
that.
his brother.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, what do you think he does? Do you think he stays? I think he stays to match up with Jeff. That's what I think.
I feel like Matt should do whatever is right for Matt.
Yeah, that too. That's
Uh,
more. That's more than anything. More. That's what I would want more for him. Whatever's
Absolutely.
best for the Hardy family is what we want.
Yeah, the dude has 5,000 kids. So so probably um I'm never going to say that money isn't the issue because of course when you have children, a buttload of them, money will always be an issue. So I don't know, but again, I don't know what's important to him. Is exposure important? Is wrestling important? Is tag team wrestling important? Does he want a singles run? Um, does he want to put over people? I'm not aware of his motivations, but
Hmm.
whatever is right for him, like if whatever makes him happy, and if he wants more money, if WWE actually offer him more money, that's fine too. That's absolutely fine. He needs to go whatever he feels like is right for him.
Yeah, and I think everybody would agree with that. Whatever's best for him and his family is what
Oh
we
no,
would
no,
want.
no, not everybody. Like you
Well, I
know
mean,
how weird wrestling fans
well,
are.
okay.
You
Well,
stabbed us in the back,
I'm talking about the normal
Mercedes.
people. When I when
Sasha,
I'm
come
when I'm
back.
talking about us or like everybody, I'm talking about normal people who do not like hold people, um, who do
You
not
mean
judge people by their
you mean our fans, the fans of
yeah,
coexisting, who are
yeah,
smart
the people
people.
that yeah that let know that companies can live in the same world and coexist. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some AEW. This past week, we had a hell of a match on Dynamite. Well, we had a couple of
Mm.
hell great matches. We had Will Ospreay
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say which one are you talking about?
Shibata. We also had
Yeah.
Mr. Swerve Strickland taking on Takeshita. Just great matches. Two great matches.
I'm gonna say one thing. Well, not I'm gonna say a lot more, but uh the future of AEW is really secure right now. Like I know we talked about WWE for 45 minutes and I'm aware of that, but
Yeah, okay.
yeah, but Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and Kenosuke Takeshita, the future of AEW, right there. I'm so here for this. Osprey is simply becoming a highlight for me in AEW. I'm I'm not even kidding. And next week we're gonna see Will Osprey face Will Hobbs, Battle of the Wills, like they call it. That's I'm just gonna move past that. That's not corny at
Worcester.
all.
They're in
Uh,
Worcester, Massachusetts.
of course they
I just
are.
love saying Worcester. Bastards in Worcester.
I have no idea how that city is pronounced, but I will always say Worcester.
That's what
Uh,
I used to call it myself, but
yeah, but
uh,
like that's not how you pronounce it, right?
no, nope. I learned that from Jim Ross that it's Worcester.
Do they know that?
I don't know if Jim Ross knows that, but
Yeah, okay. That's okay. Yeah, so they're playing off of the Don Callis family fighting each other. At some point we're gonna see Kyle Fletcher again, who's defending his title against Shotty Lee and not Ethan Page, by the way. Because what the hell is happening in Ring of Honor? I don't need
you
like
know, once we think Ring of Honor is getting their shit back together, they pull
it's
you
not.
back out.
Yeah, they pull you back out.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we're not gonna talk about that because like I'm an egomaniac. Okay, I'm an Ethan Page fan, and I'm hurt. Okay,
well played, Corey. Well played.
Corey's so good at this.
Well played. Corey says it was the Worcester of times. It was the bester of times. So, hey, they're
Just
doing yard
give
work outside my window again.
yard
Yeah,
work.
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Well, only about 20
Yes.
minutes left in the show.
That's we're gonna be fine. Um, we did have Young Bucks versus Private Party. We had a bunch of callbacks to their first match at the first episode of Dynamite. We saw Silly String and Falcon Arrow off, the barricade, which were amazing spots. The German suplex on the apron. They did always almost have the same pin as the first time they were facing each other at AEW, but Mac kicked out. They had a gin and juice to Nick. Of course, Matt low blowed. Was it Mark Quinn? No, it
Yeah, I think
was
Isaiah Cassidy.
yeah, it was Cassidy. Because Mark Quinn hit one of the Bucks with the belt, but eventually they did do EVP trigger to Mark Quinn on his back. Um, of course, the Young Bucks won. Okada was backstage watching on on television, getting out of his red Ferrari. He's so good. Sing it. No, no, no. Sing it. He's so good. Alex Marvez wasn't on the show today. That sucked. Um, but the thing that pissed me off was Jericho. Okay, so Jericho pretty much, exactly what I thought would happen. He was like, Hook, you're awesome. If you ever want some advice, you can ask me. And Hook was like, yeah, okay. But I know who you are. But okay. And I'm like, they made Hook talk for that? Get him as far away, from Jericho as humanly possible. I'm not liking the direction of this. Uh, uh, Lion Hook or Y2 Hook. No, like
Right.
that. It's giving major Y2AJ vibes. I don't want that. Like, why is the like pretty much what they're doing right now is making Chris Jericho the bit where he clings himself to all the newcomers and
Yeah,
occasionally Kenny Omega. I miss Kenny Omega. Please get well, please, sir. I love you.
yeah, we miss Kenny.
Uh, I miss Kenny Omega so much. I want him to be healthy most of all. Of course, I will always miss him in the ring, but whatever the hell he needs, just I just want him to be healthy. Um, we had a brilliant four-way match between Chris Statlander, Sky Blue, Anna Jane Willow. Mercedes was on commentary. Willow won the match, which I am so happy that she did. Julia Hart attacked her after that, and Mercedes and Julia had a stare down. So I don't know what happens there because, like, Mercedes has a history with Willow, of course, from that match. They had a Stardom, right? Like,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
New Japan.
Okay, yeah, okay, New Japan. And but like that stare down between Mercedes and Julia was okay.
Hmm.
Like, I'm here for that too. Um so I'm anxious to see where this goes. What happened after was that best friends beat the Kingdom in the tag tournament. And this is probably going to be Wardlow's fault next week because if everyone remembers, Cole said that now it's Wardlow's job to help the United Kingdom keep their success.
The United Kingdom.
Oh my God, Undisputed
Yeah,
Kingdom.
yeah. It was like, well, Wardlow, you're responsible for the
No,
United
not
Kingdom now.
that. Not that. Well, I mean, might as well blame
Yeah,
Wardlow for that too. Uh, no, so yeah, Undisputed Kingdom. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be doing that a lot. Because in my notes, I just write UK because the amount of time because I write my notes, guys. Like I'm an old school person who like takes notes with pen and pencil, you know? So in order to save time, I just write UK. That's me making excuses for being unprofessional. So yeah, it's probably gonna be Wardlow's fault. It's This is still not working for me. And I hate
no,
saying that. I hate
it's
saying
not working
that.
for anybody.
It's not working for anyone. Almost all the people in that stable are one of my favorites. Kyle O'Reilly is doing his best right now. He's being Kyle O'Reilly. Um, but it's so hard being a Wardlow fan right now because like there. And Steven Jensen kind of had a point on Spotlight this week. He was like, "What the hell is MJF returning to?"
Hmm. Yeah, some people they think he's going to WrestleMania. Oh, these poor people.
Yeah, but like, Rob, don't forget, it's 2024 and it's wrestling. Like, please do not like think that weird shit isn't gonna happen.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, MJF can be dressed as Stardust and just
Maggie, okay, I'll let you.
don't don't
If you
rule
just
shit out.
okay,
Don't
go
rule
ahead.
shit out. I'm not saying that MJF is gonna be a WrestleMania. I'm just concerned that they dropped the ball so much with that. I mean, like they they gave us the devil, the identity of the devil, and then everything went downhill from there. And it's
Hmm.
all downhill from here. And it's all down. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
I miss that song. That's an old school song. If you know, you know. Newfound Glory. That's it. That's the band. Um, like, am I wrong here? Like, what the hell is MGF coming back to? Because like, I know that this wasn't always gonna be the top story there, but I don't even remember that. I'm not even talking about a top story, guys. I don't remember that. And I rarely do. And that's not because there's so much good shit happening on the program. Like there is.
yeah,
But like them not keeping up with that isn't the reason why this isn't working. It's not working because it's bad. It's really, really bad and this needs to stop. Like
yep.
I'm gonna need for someone to pitch to Tony Khan a way in which they can get things back on track. Because I need for these people to be good because I know they are. I'm gonna need for these people to be on television, to be in storylines that actually matter. And you know, if you're giving screen time to Max Caster after everything that he's been doing on social media and not give the Undisputed Kingdom time to evolve in a storyline, I don't know what we're doing here. That's it.
Max Cat. That's a whole different show. I don't even want to talk about him. But yeah, I agree. But before we head out, I want to bring up a couple of things. Promote. We'll promote AEW Rampage tonight. That's pretty good show. Well, on card, it looks like a pretty good show. Roderick Strong taking on Daddy Magic. Matt Menard. Dustin Rhodes taking on The Butcher. Deonna Purrazzo is in action. Mariah May taking on Nikita. You will also hear from Tony Storm. And then Fightful Select had a report this afternoon that the reason why we haven't seen Jay White at these shows in Canada is because he's having some visa issues. So that's why they're doing videos in.
Yeah.
So we'll see him and the Guns probably do the same kind of thing they've been doing for
With
Rampage
Juice Robinson in the background.
Yeah. And then for Collision tomorrow night, they will be live from the Budweiser Gardens in London, Ontario. We will see a AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament quarterfinal match between Top Flight taking on Big Bill and Ricky Starks. We also have the tournament quarterfinal, I can't say that word, wow. FTR taking on the Infantry. We have the TNT Championship Open Challenge match with Adam Copeland taking on a to-be-announced competitor. And then we
Make
have
it Garcia and have Garcia winning the belt. Right out, there you go.
There you go. I like it. Then you have the main event, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Shibata taking on Lance Archer and The Righteous. So, Maggie?
Do you see Private Party and Top Flight being the future of the tag team division in AEW? Because I want that. Top Flight and Private Party, they gimme.
I definitely see Top Flight. But, I mean, I see Private Party, too, for that matter. But I'm biased with Top Flight. But, Maggie, plug your shit.
Guys, you can follow me on Twixter at Maggie_IK and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. After you watched our show, please leave a comment below from your favorite thing about wrestling this past week, what you're looking forward to for WrestleMania. What did you think about Dynamite? Just leave a comment after the video is done. It helps us out a lot. Rob, where can they find you?
Guys, you can follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twix. Otherwise, I'm on Instagram at FightfulRob. I'm also on Threads at FightfulRob. Want to give 2 shout-outs. My school, where I went to school, MSU, Minnesota State Mankato, they are playing for 2 championships. The women's NCAA Division II championship basketball game is tonight. They're playing. And then tomorrow night, the men's basketball team is playing for the national title, Division II. So only the second time, I think, that both schools have had a team in the championship the same year. So that's pretty cool. Hope they both win, because that would be awesome. And then Maggie, baseball's back. I know you're excited. I hope you have bar patrons.
Fuck yeah!
I know. I can see that face. Look, you're excited. I hope you have bar patrons ask you to turn off the football and put on baseball. Like you did
listen
not
up.
do for last summer.
Grigor Dimitrov is playing wonderful tennis right now. He's playing in Miami.
God bless you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know I know who that is.
You
Miami.
asshole.
Yeah. They even have tennis in Bulgaria. But I'm filling in for Ryan. He had to leave. I assume he hasn't been in chat for a while.
The nerve.
The nerve. Okay. Before we do, just remember Cassidy Haynes was right.
Yes, he was. Yes,
he was.
Join us next week for a big ass prediction show.
Yep. And big ass prediction show. And Cassidy Haynes, you know what he did?
Sacrifice! 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 Sacrifice!